Yo ya no puedo hablar porque estoy en una reunión, pero llámalo a él y decirle, ¿ok? Chao.
So there's two mines. That small one is for, and then the other one is for, hey, I don't turn those on. I want you to. Okay. Let me just check audio.
Is it on now?
It's so funny because it's too cold or it's too hot.
Always too. Stop it.
We good? Okay, it's 5 o'clock. This meeting is called to order. First item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance with our guest leader, Maddie.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Wonderful job, Maddie.
Very good.
Okay, next is a swearing in of our new governing board member.
Maybe we can do it on this side though, so it's on the. No, because this feeds to the YouTube, so you do need that. But if you do it on that side, it'll be on camera.
Got it. Okay. All right, ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so repeat after me. I, state your name,
I, Fran Murray,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona,
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and defend them against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and defend them against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties
of the office of Fountain Hills Unified School District Governing Board Member
of the office, say that one more time,
of the office of Fountain Hills Unified School District Governing Board Member,
of the office of Fountain Hills Unified School District Governing Board Member,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Can we get a picture? Can we do like we do Rich?
Oh, picture.
Picture.
time, of course.
Let's do a picture.
Gotta do a picture.
We can get behind you guys. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because then we're like, yeah. There we go.
Everything's gonna get cut off by me.
I'll go
Be
between.
right where you are. Okay. Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Lillian, remind her how to turn on her.
Yeah, just turn on the mic.
Stay on the whole time. And this one is. Thank you.
Okay, next up is approval of our agenda. Do we have a motion to approve?
I move we approve our agenda.
And a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, agenda is approved. Executive session, I make a motion that we vote. We have to do this individually, each session or all at once?
We can do them all at once. We'll just handle the staff one and first.
Got it. So all of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll move that we go into executive session for several reasons. One, for the purpose of discussion of a professional staff member's general leave payout. Also for discussion or consultation for legal advice with the board's attorney concerning Apache Junction et al. Versus East Valley Institute of Technology. And also for discussion or consultation with the board's attorney to consider its position and instruct its attorney regarding the board's position in pending litigation, specifically Apache Junction et al. Versus East Valley Institute of Technology. Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we'll be back.
Take my water or not?
But she's got a job to do. She's got stuff to do.
No, we moved because my husband's law firm was falling apart, and he ended up with a job in Virginia Beach. But from there, we went to Columbus.
Okay.
Within 3 years.
Okay, it's 6 o'clock. I'll move that we convene the business meeting. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, next up is the approval of minutes for several meetings, the March 18th, March 20th, and March 25th special board meetings. Is there a motion to approve?
I move we approve all of them.
And a second?
I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. So why are you all scared of us or
Yeah.
what?
Is it the desk?
Okay, informational reports, Dr. J.
Yeah, Dr. Rakowski, members of the board and guests, thank you all for being here tonight. Just to give a little understanding, the desks are here as we had a air conditioning issue earlier in the week, and I want to thank all of our parents and students for their patience, and we had to move a couple classrooms, so one of them is in here. So for the rest of the week, and we'll get this back the way it used to be. An update on the air conditioning. It will be repaired tomorrow. It's a pipe in the C building in the middle school, and we're hopeful it'll be repaired tomorrow by end of day, and we'll be able to move everybody back. We only have 3 classrooms that were affected, but we'll hopefully be able to move them back for Friday. We are also doing state testing, and that's why all the desks are also here, is they have to be spread out, and there's a lot of rules that we have to go through here. So middle school's been doing their state testing in here, and it's great to see kids in this learning center, because that's really what it's about. We made a lot of changes to here to allow for classrooms to use it more often. But state testing's off to a great start. We also have remodeled most of the lecture hall. And so for parents who come to a lot of events here, you'll notice some real nice changes there. The biggest being we have a projector in there that you can now see what's on the screen. And it was so old, it was getting to a point where you couldn't see anything. But we have a new, very bright, beautiful projector, and we changed out the screen, and the screen is now on the back wall, so you can now present from the stage instead of having to be in front of it. So for our coaches that do film sessions, for our guest speakers, which we have those from time to time, the lecture hall is in a much, much better shape with the renovations. We are, a little update on Little Falcons preschool. They'll be moving to McDowell Mountain next year. We have architectural drawings now, which is a really big step. We'll be going for a contract here soon. We'll be putting that out for people to bid on. And we're very confident, regardless of some of the delays in construction, that we'll be ready to go on the first day of school next year. So a lot's going on there. We also were able to solidify our renter, which the board had already done some approval on with Behavior Ally renting the facility. And that rent will, I believe, exceed our cost there. So we'll be able to keep our building, make a little bit of a profit on the building, and have a renter in there that will make sure it's kept up for the neighborhood. So we're very excited about that being finalized. And then lastly, just one of my favorite nights when all the athletes and parents are here. Watched a lot of these games this past year, and we're excited to celebrate all of you tonight. So thank you for coming. With that, I conclude my comments.
Okay. On to Falcons of the Month, starting out with the middle school. Is Dr. Wheeldreher here, or?
I'm taking Dr. Wheeldreher.
Okay, back to you, Dr. J.
All right, so we have for the middle school staff, James J.C. Collins. Is J.C. here tonight? Okay, well, I'm going to talk a little bit, and we'll make sure we get this to him. I've been working with J.C. as high school principal and superintendent for about 8 years, and he's very deserving of this award. He does everything that you ask and more. He's always available to help out where needed. He gets a lot of calls on the weekends to help out when there's something that needs to be repaired or someone needs to be called in. So I will make sure I pull him aside and share all the great things that we see in him, but we're very proud of JC. So let's give it up for him.
Okay, next up is the high school. Mrs. Pinto.
Good evening. Last month, we celebrated our Staff of the Month, which was Gianna Wilson, our dance teacher, and she had actually nominated our student, which is Caitlin LaDrew.
Is she not here?
Maybe next month.
I got a message she would be.
We'll try again.
Okay. Thank you, sorry.
Well, hold that thought then. All right, good. Okay, on to the district office transportation staff.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Alicia Smith come on up to the front here. Alicia has done an amazing job throughout this school year. She started the year over at McDowell Mount as the assistant to Principal Reichler. And when Ms. Brown left earlier this year, we had an opening in HR. And Alicia came right in with all of her years of experience working in the healthcare field and running offices. She came in and I don't think she ever sits still. She is constantly on the move. She is always working late. I think she's pretty much the last person to leave every night. She's been putting in a ton of time. And she came in at probably the busiest time of year, which is when we're doing contracts and we have to budget and on top of all the other things that go with HR. So I just thought we would share out that she's done such an amazing job in just the first couple of months. She's lived in Fountain Hills pretty much most of her life, so she's grown up here. And we couldn't be happier having her in our HR department. She's a strong leader. And she has built great relationships and has just brought another level of harmony. I like to have harmony up in our front office, and she brought another level of that. So we can be more happy with Alicia. So congratulations. Somebody.
I'll take a picture.
All right, here we go.
There we go.
All right. Give it a little-
On to the VFW Teacher of the Year. We have reps from VFW here.
Hey, everyone. So I'm Patrick Garman, representing the BFW here in Fountain Hills. We have the commander of the BFW here, Brian Minzy. Every year we do a VFW Teacher of the Year, all right? So this year, I wanted to read the write-up that I submitted and was selected for the Teacher of the Year this year through Luke Saltzman. This will take a few minutes, all right? So and please indulge me. So, Mr. Luke Salzman has been a dedicated and impactful educator for over 19 years at the Fountain Hills District School System. Since 2006, Luke has been a health and physical education teacher at Fountain Hills. Over this time, he has proven his ability to build successful and high-performing programs, highlighted by his 18 seasons as the varsity head wrestling coach. He has also organized and led the school's leadership and cultural exchange and experiential learning programs that included extensive international and domestic travel programs to foster global awareness and student growth. It is in the area of teaching leadership to young people that Luke excels. In seeking ways to build character, self-discipline, and accountability in his student athletes, he identified a need and proactively began organizing support to veterans organizations in Fountain Hills. In what has become a common occurrence at any event where veteran organizations like the Veterans of Foreign Wars or the American Legion participates, Luke contacts, assigns, and organizes his students to support those that gave so much to this country. In particular, Luke organizes his student athletes to set up chairs, build stages, erect tents, and escort disabled veterans to their seats or any other task that's asked of them. Once the event is over, whether it be a Veterans Day, Pearl Harbor Day, or a craft fair, he organizes his students to help tear down and store all the parts used. Without Luke's help, these events in and around Fountain Hills would be severely reduced in scope or curtailed altogether. It's not hyperbole to credit him with being a crucial piece in the success of the Veterans of Foreign Wars events for many, many years. His dedication to our children and our veterans is noteworthy, as it not only supports veterans organizations, it also fosters interactions between young students and veterans. These young students gain the value of hard work, along with accountability and self-discipline. It also gives these young teenagers a glimpse of the sacrifice made on their behalf. Luke Salzman is an inspirational educator who is a role model for young people. His efforts over 19 years have resulted in Fountain Hills students being better prepared to become adults, while also understanding the experiences of veterans and the freedoms we enjoy as United States citizens that result from their sacrifices. He is absolutely deserving of the 2025-26 VFW National Citizenship Education Teacher Award.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity and to be here and to highlight Luke. So thank you very much. On behalf of Veteran of Foreign Wars, Post 7507, we'd like to reward you with this this handsome check here for all the hard work you do. So thank you and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
No, that's okay. I just want-
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, it's time for winter sports recognition, starting with wrestling. I wonder who's going to do that.
Can I get all the wrestlers that are here to come on up? So we have more wrestlers than this. We actually had 16 this year, but these are 3 out of the 4 that qualified for the state tournament. One, Tyler Trapani, is racing right now at Desert Mountain, so he might get here in a few minutes, but we'll see. This year we had a really good year. We ended up with a 17-11 dual meet record, even though we gave up 5 weight classes in the first 5 weights, which was kind of tough. We had 9 kids wrestle at the sectional tournament, and 4 of them qualified for state. Junior Reese Beers, raise your hand. Reese had a really great season. He won 37 matches, and he actually made the finals in every tournament that he wrestled in. So 4 times he was in the finals. Congrats, Reese. And then we had George Tobias. So George is a junior this year, going to be a senior, and he continued to get better and better as the year went on, and made the varsity spot. And he wrestled really well at sectionals, made the state tournament, and actually won a match at state. So next year, oh, and by the way, he was giving up how many pounds? 15 pounds.
Wow.
So he's wrestling really big boys. But he'll be bigger than them next year. So George. And then at state, we had 2 of our wrestlers that were already state placers last year
placed for the second time in a row. Ava Bourne, our first girl wrestler. She went into the state tournament with a record of 35-1, and she placed third place in a super tough, probably the toughest by far weight class in the tournament. Took third place at 145 pounds. She ends her career at Fountain Hills with an impressive 58-5 record. She was a 3-time sectional champion, and she placed second last year at state and third this year at state. And she also plans to continue wrestling in college next year. So. And finally, Tyler Trapani, our senior wrestler. He's running the 4x100 relay as we speak at Desert Mountain. Tyler had a great tournament. He wrestled the #1 seed in the tournament in the quarterfinals and beat him. And then he went on in the semifinals to tech his next opponent. And Tyler was a state runner-up this year at 175 pounds. Last year he placed 6th at state, and he finished his career with 127 wins, 9th of all time in Fountain Hills history. So thank you. Next up, do we have girls?
Girls basketball is next, yes.
Tom Farrington, girls basketball. Should we get a picture? Yes.
Oh, yes. Let's take a picture.
Sure.
Don't get away from pictures.
All right, hello, my name is Thomas Farrington. I am the head girls coach here at Fountain Hills High School. We had a pretty successful year this year. Thank you. We went 23-3 on the season, which is fantastic. And we were also able to make it past the second round for the first time in, I believe it was 12 years. Unfortunately, we came up short in the state championship game, but, having it be my first year and just getting to know these girls and, helping them, progress as young women, progress as basketball players has been just a blessing for me. So we only have 3 here today, but I'll talk about the 3 I have here today. Talia Banaha was the Offensive Player of the Year for the 2A Central Region. Michaela Smith was second team All-Region as a sophomore, which is huge. And it just means so much for me to have these 3 here. As a first-year head coach, and we're starting to get to know each other, for them to just be willing to trust me and be able to do whatever I asked them to do, really just meant a lot. And that kind of helped us have all this success this year. So I'm just really happy to have them here and happy to have that opportunity to coach them. So we'll hand out these certificates to them. Rose Sanchez. Talia Banaha.
find yours, Kayla.
Oh, no.
Oh, just kidding. Here you go. Kayla Smith. Thank you so much.
Boys basketball is next.
All right, I'm Coach Jeff Bonner. I'm the boys varsity basketball coach. I don't do it all by myself, so I'll give a shout out to Coach Brent Olson. Couldn't be here today, but definitely is huge in everything we do, just being there to support in any way you can. He's our JV coach and assists for varsity, as well as Tanner Barnard, who kind of took it on this year for the freshman program, and Coach Keating, as well as Tom Barrington back there. Even though he is the girls varsity coach now, he started off helping me out, and he has done a great job of making sure he hasn't left me out to dry. I appreciate it. Kind of just recap through how our season went. How it goes most of the time. We start our year. We have our guys make goals for our season, make goals for themselves. No different this year. We break our huddles to start the year saying we want to be state champions, so that's what we're going after each year, each and every year. Last year we did a really good job in getting really close. Lost by 10 in the state championship game. This team this year was pretty much brand new. So for them to actually try to go attack that goal as coaches, being realistic, we know that that's going to be tough. These guys didn't bat an eye at the challenge. They went after it every single day in practice, went after it every single game. There's a lot that goes into playing varsity basketball, and it's kind of very subtle, but it's quick. That change from playing JV to playing varsity. And for most of these guys, they didn't play varsity last year. I think Aaron Lloyd's the only guy that played primarily varsity last year, so it was a brand new squad. So for them to go after it this season, it was a huge compliment to them, their work ethic. We finished the season, I think, 22, I want to say 8. For any year for us to win more than 20 games is a huge compliment to not only these guys' work, but some things going your way. Obviously, as you get through the year, some things do have to kind of fall the way you want them to fall. And for us, it happened. For us, it happened that way. Didn't necessarily end with us making it to the state championship, which we would like to, but we made it to the Final Four. And again, with a brand new squad, minus our one returner, that was a huge goal for us to reach. I'm truly proud of each and every one of these guys. Kind of similar to Tom, everyone's not here. We had a total of 12 guys, I think, on our varsity team this season. So we're missing half of them. But they have that a year. Obviously, I want to thank you guys for being here tonight. We did have some individual accolades. Before we go into individual accolades, I want to start by saying I'm a firm believer in the fact that you will not get a single accolade, an individual accolade, if it's not for your team. So every accolade, as we go through the list of guys that are here, a couple of these guys have got individual accolades as far as first team, all region, or second team, all region, all conference. So I'll kind of list that out as we go through, and we'll kind of go through at least the guys that are here for the guys that aren't here. It's unfortunate, but we'll get them their certificates and go from there. I would just say we had a total of 6 members of the program make an all-region or all-conference team. And I'll say compliment to them again. They got me some love by giving me
Region Coach of the Year as well. All right, first person up. And this guy was a first team all conference player, as well as a first team all region player, and kind of how that is differentiated is your region is kind of broken down into smaller groups that you play against. The conference is like all state. So Aaron was a first team all region player, as well as a first team all state player. Jamison Jacobs was actually a second team all region player as well. Congratulations. We have Messias Luna. Here you go. Sean Monroy. Grayson Pavia, and he also got an honorable mention, all region honorable mention. Joseph Smith. No love for you, crew. All right, last and not least, Crew Miller. Again, can't thank you guys enough for putting in the effort to get us to where we were this season. More importantly than anything, now it's time to start real life for my seniors. Jameson Jacobs, Messias Luna, Aaron Lloyd. I can't wait to see the great things you guys accomplish in your lives. Please stay connected. Y'all do have these other little things that y'all need to grab too, folks. Grab these coins, but we have to take a picture first. Size. Put your shame on you. What I do?
Oh, he's trying to get there. He wants one more. He wants one more picture back there. Oh, well.
Times will have to wait. Okay, Mr. Saltzman, come on up. We got another award for you.
Okay, so we have a very special award tonight. It came to our attention in the middle of the season that Coach Salzman, after many, many years of leading our wrestling program, reached a very exclusive milestone of 300 wins as a wrestling coach. So let's give it up for Coach. So we did a little, presentation on senior night and included that in there. And as a wrestling parent, I spent a lot of time in the gyms over the last couple of years. And the amount of time that he puts in to wrestling is just unbelievable. They do more tournaments than I'm sure are required, probably by a lot. But these are like 12 to 15-hour days, and it's nonstop. And he has built a strong staff of mostly volunteers with his coaches that have been around for a long time. But the amount of time and effort he puts in, the care for the kids, and the enthusiasm when someone does something amazing, even with a bad knee, he would get up and move and really get after it, get in a stance. It was really cool to see. So, give it up for Coach Salzman. 300 wins.
All right, reports from governing board members. Why don't we start, Bernie, start at your side?
So I went to one of the first beach volleyball games, and it was outstanding, the motivated players that are out there, and just diving for that ball. So that sand isn't all that soft either. I spent time working with service clubs in the elementary school and the middle school with Kiwanis, the K-Kids and Builders. They had their last meetings last week and this week. They got their community service certificates. We had 95 and a half hours for the Builders Club and 93 and a half hours for the K-Kids, and that means in addition to going to their meetings, they work in community service projects, whether they're making something or showing up at the fair and helping the adult club. And recently, they went down and assisted giving water to some of the bicyclists that really needed it coming up the last couple of hills, getting out Fountain Hills for the Tour de Scottsdale. So they had a good time doing that. I've been working on the Master Facility Planning Committee, and we're sort of taking a pause right now with shifting administration and looking at goals. We have progressed. Properties up for sale. They're going through the process, so things are looking good there. And then finally, all of us had coffee with Kane, and I'll let everybody else contribute. Thank you.
Kim?
That's true. We all went to Coffee with Kane, except for our newest member. So I'll start with that. It's, I think, my second Coffee with Kane that I was able to attend this year. It conflicts with when I do my mentoring, and so I was able to attend it this time because there was testing, and my mentor was testing, or my mentee was. So I really love the Coffee with Kane. I encourage people to come to those meetings. A lot to learn in a short period of time from our superintendent. Even all of us board members were asking questions just to get more context on what's happening. So lots of good updates there. I also attended the middle school site council meeting. That's my first site council meeting that I've been to, and I'm hoping to also make it to the high school one and the elementary school one as well. So that was great as well. Dr. W did a good job leading that. It was great to see some of the parents that are participants in that and part of the site council hear some of the questions that they're asking and what they're interested in learning about in terms of what's going on with the middle school. So I have a middle school student, so that's why I started there with the middle school. I don't think that we've gotten to talk about this yet, but since the last time we did governing board reports, there was a superintendent search that we did. And I just want to thank all of the community members, parents, staff, teachers, and students that participated in the committees that we had on that search. So I felt like it was really, great to have that transparency and have the input from all of those community members on our superintendent search. I, of course, got to participate in it as well as a board member, and just wanted to thank everyone so much for being involved with our school district. And that's it.
Okay. Aline?
I'll start by saying that I went to the State of the Schools that Dr. J did, and it was a packed audience. For the first time, I couldn't find parking out here, and I saw people walking from the middle school because it was sitting room only, but it wasn't standing, but we were really full, and it was great to hear everything he had to say, all the positive things. Also, our Chamber of Commerce was so fantastic, and Betsy could not stop praising our school district, which I think is exactly what we want in our town, so it's great. I do attend the coffees, and there was something yesterday when we were all there, except one person on Zoom, but all of us were there. So it was good to do that. I have attended the site council The only one I didn't get to go this time was a middle school because I was away. But if people are asked, you know, when you're a parent, would you be part of it? Say yes, because it really does show you a lot. In the elementary school, every grade level will report what they're doing. It's the preschool's there too. I mean, it's really informative, and you can help out with different decisions that need to be made. So that's fantastic. I went to the field day at the elementary school. 2 of my grandkids came with me to help me out, and they were helping with the running back and forth. And we had a really good time, and that's always great attendance. The students were really having fun out there. The weather ended up being perfect. I've been part of a Zoom meeting with the ASBA, which is the School Board Association, with the Hispanic Native American Caucus, because we were setting up what we're going to discuss at the Leadership Conference, and I invite all of you to join us there. It's in Flagstaff the first weekend in June. Part of what the Leadership Conference entails, and we'll see it in the magazines you just got, the vice president is a Native American, and he's been going to all the meetings talking about impact aid. He's been keeping all of us informed as to what's going on, and he'll be speaking at the Leadership Conference there as well.
Okay. We're going to let you off the hook, Fran, or do you want to say anything?
Well, since I just started today, I was going to say I had nothing to report, but Kim reminded me I was part of the superintendent search, so that was a very fascinating experience to be part of, and I'm thrilled to be part of the new board.
And now you get to be the boss of the superintendent. Cool. All right. So as mentioned, it was part of Coffee with Kane. I was lucky to break away from my paying job to be able to join them by Zoom. I also attended the last Facilities Use Committee meeting, and thanks, Bernie, for leading that. And then, along with Dr. J, I was doing some behind-the-scenes work to convince the town that Behavior Ally was a legitimate purpose of the Fayette, and that we were very successful in convincing the town despite their initial hesitation to allow that to happen. And then the other thing is many of you probably know about Falcon Fiesta, and there was some concern that it wouldn't happen, but I think the latest is that it will happen. And I get to be the bingo boss again. So I look forward to that every year. So that's all I have. Okay.
Yeah, we have, as usual, we have some books that I always forget because I get excited. So we have, you have a list of picture books, early chapter books, novels, nonfiction, chapter books that came from our literary committee that will be on display starting tomorrow. And that's the list for you to take a look at. Any questions, feel free to reach out.
Okay.
And we encourage our community to come in and take a look at it.
Okay. Next up is reports. Do we have Stugo representatives here? Yeah, come on.
Hi, my name is Colleen Streifert. I'm a representative from Stugo. I'm a junior this year. So Stugo right now we're working on prom, which will be April 18th, held down at the ACC Banquet Hall. I think we're doing from 7 to 10 p.m. on that. Our theme is Golden Hour, so we're getting decorations in, working on that. And then we are working on Senior Sunset, which will be an event for the seniors. We're going to have pizza and do some photos and stuff like that. And then for our senior gift, they're doing a mural with handprints on it with the numbers 26. And there's just big boards that are going to be hung up in one of the hallways. And we also have a senior sign-out video that we're going to create and show before the end of the year. And it's just like we have a plexiglass panel that we're going to put on a camera, and the seniors come up and they do their signature on it, and then we're going to make a video out of that and show that before the end of the year. So that's what we're working on right now. Thank you.
Good. Comments, questions? Okay, thank you. Next is the McDowell Mountain Elementary School ELA curriculum presentation.
Dr. Kowski, members of the board, guests, we have Principal Reichler here with her team, to share their process and next steps for you all to consider.
I can get her on video, but you can't be playing off on video. So she's just gonna be on video right here with you. But the board should be able to hear anything that she says.
Okay.
Okay.
It was lady that, in case they had any questions or anything. So she's hanging out with us for comfort, if we need it, for backup questions that we may not know.
Heather and
This is
Larissa,
the-
is that
oh,
cool?
okay, good. Okay. Do you want me to plug this in too? Would that be good for you?
Hi, you're not plugged in, but if we have questions or we miss something, feel free to jump in and the board can hear you. I think, hopefully. You're doing great.
I can't see. We need to lower the podium, people.
We get, yeah, a step stool.
I need a lesson on how to use this stuff too. Okay. Okay, well, I'm going to start talking while I have my tech guy. So we are here tonight to present our ELA curriculum to you. We started this process in November, December, because after speaking with Board of Education and the Mauer people, we found out that the curriculum that we're using is currently a 2017 model. So we were warned last year that last year was our last year. So we said, okay, we're going to start looking around. We started making some choices. We went through the Mauer list of approved curriculums that are on there, and I said, okay, well, we need a team. So we went out and we put it out there to the community, had it on Falcon Focus, and we had it on our website of, hey, we're looking for some people to join our ELA committee. So we got some great community members and parents that joined us, and these wonderful ladies were there as well. And we made some decisions, made hard decisions together, and spent a lot of time doing this. So as time went on, we started having meetings. Gosh, they were like every week, just because we knew we had to get here pretty quickly. And so we were successful, maybe a week or two later than we were hoping, but we got here. And I'm happy to have them, our team here, but they'll introduce themselves because they're the ones who are ultimately using this. And I felt that it's really important that they are the ones digging deep, understanding why, and looking at the materials, along with myself, of course, to make sure that this is something that is going to benefit our students, from the youngest learners to our older fifth grade learners. So I'm going to let Nicole start off.
Okay, yep. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Nicole Latona. I'm the Dean of Students at McDowell Mountain. And Ms. Reichler shared a lot with you, and what we're here to do is present the process we used to pick our new ELA curriculum. So we are a few of the members. We also had other teachers, we had community members, and we also had parents on our team. So we would like to recommend that Wonders be approved for the 26-27 school year. So here's a quick overview of the process that we followed. So like Val said, this had to be a program that was approved on the Mauer list. So it had to be green. So we had to look at a bunch of programs and see which ones would be green that we can use. From there, we found 5 programs that we liked. We called all the companies, we got our materials in so that we can look at them. Then as a team, we used that board-approved rubric to evaluate each one of those programs that we received. Then we had a representative from each one of those companies come to our meetings and give their presentations about their programs. After that, after those representatives came, it really helped us to narrow down which ones we liked. And once those representatives came, we narrowed it down to 2 options. One was called HMH, and the others was called Wonders. So once we had it kind of narrowed down to 2, we asked HMH and Wonders to come back again for a second presentation. And that really helped us because that helped us get a deeper dive in. We could ask more questions, clarifying questions, and see where we really needed more answers. And then as we were doing this whole process, we were lucky enough to have Paige Smout in another district that she was in. She actually used Wonders because as we went through, Wonders kept sticking out as our number 1 option. And Paige had used that before, so she was really helpful because she gave us the insight into, as really using it. So she was really helpful as we were doing everything. So Paige would like to talk and just tell about her personal experience with actually using Wonders.
Thank you, Nicole. Switch this. I don't know if I'm supposed to. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Paige Smount. I'm a first grade teacher here at McDowell Mountain, and I've been teaching 9 years. I taught 6 years in Mesa Public Schools, 2 years in Arizona, in Utah, and then this is my first year back here in Arizona. So last year, I was able to use Wonders. Fantastic, fantastic program. I can't say enough how much there is to use. So it was a little overwhelming at first, the amount of resources that they have. But digging into it, we used mainly, I know Sam's going to get more into the kind of the online component. I didn't use a lot of it, but I did use the resources that they have. So I could log in and then I could find, passage after passage. They had hundreds of fluency passages. They had listening comprehension passages. They had assessments. They had everything pre-made. I could go in, find anything that I needed. It was incredible. Which if you don't know, finding fluency passages can be so difficult. So difficult. Anyway, just amazing resources. Also, vocabulary cards. They had, everything is just so easy to use. Everything is so, as a teacher coming into a new school, learning a new curriculum, it was right at my fingertips. I had everything. The vocabulary cards were laid out. They were already in order by unit, so I would just grab the next one. And it was amazing the way that it promoted literacy and comprehension. I've never actually used a program that I liked as much as Wonders. For example, these cards I'm talking about were about this big. They'd have a picture on the front, so I would show them to the children, and they could look at it the whole time I'm reading. And on the back of the card, I read a story to them. They were so engaging. Some of them were fiction, some of them were nonfiction, some of them were passages. There were real-world pictures. There was one of a library in South America that was run on the back of a donkey. And it was brought from town to town, and it showed the donkey, and it showed the librarian, and it showed the children looking for books. And it just brought up the most amazing discussions. The kids are riveted on these images, and on the vocabulary. It was so natural to use, so easy. And for preparation, all I had to do was pick up the next card and start. Incredible. There are so many resources as well. There are basils, so you pull out the basil reader, and they're full of the cutest stories. Again, I teach first grade, right? So they're engaging, they're colorful, they're sweet, they're readable, not decodable, so it's not like everything here is full of short A words. They're more difficult. The rigor is up, but still students are able to read them, and then they build in difficulty, right? There was also, so that was a basal reader, like a hardbound book that the students could use, but that you would keep year after year and continue using. Then there's also consumables. There were books that they could write in, read in, circle all of the sight words, do this, do little activities. Again, so engaging, so fun. My students loved them. I loved them. And it was, again, just really easy to follow and to use. So I highly, highly recommend it. And I'm crossing my fingers because I'm really excited to use it again.
Good evening, board members. My name is Talia Houseel, and I am actually the intervention reading teacher there here at McDowell Mountain Elementary School. And I was a part of the committee as well, and I'm just going to take a couple minutes and briefly highlight the criteria our team used to evaluate the two programs that we did a deep dive into. Our review process was thorough, collaborative, and grounded in our state standards and were Mauer-approved curriculum. And this aligned with the current research in the science of reading. After initially narrowing our focus down from 5 programs to 2, we conducted a deep analysis of our curriculum. We were able to look at the material, listen to the presenters, and also got the opportunity to take the material home and spend time looking at it. We ended up deciding on Wonders and HMH as our 2 programs. And we used the very comprehensive rubric that you guys had approved for us to use. In that rubric, we had 4 main criteria we looked at. The first criteria was the science of reading, and in this criteria, it measured how well each program delivered explicit and systematic instruction in foundational literacy. And we made sure that all the standards aligned with the new research in the science of reading. The second area we looked at was the foundational skills. We evaluated the strength and the alignment of phonics, fluency, and early literacy components in our curriculum. We also looked at the decodables that came with the curriculum as well, and also at the high-frequency word instruction. We also made sure that it had a strong phonemic awareness component, which is essential to beginning readers, especially in K through 1. The third criteria we looked at was at the actual text and the writing that was being taught in the program. This category focused on the quality of the text, whether it was knowledge building, the comprehension strategies being offered in there, and any daily writing opportunities that presented across the genre. So we made sure that the text that the kids were using, like Ms. Smout said, was engaging, but also had built upon itself and increased in complexity as the kids progressed along the way. The final category we looked at was usability and the supports that came with that. We assessed how effective each program supported the teacher through clear structure, differentiation, the digital tools that they had, as well as intervention resource. A major component that we wanted to make sure was that teachers had Tier 2 interventions right at their fingertips, that they weren't trying to figure out how to help their students, but that they can just say, this group of students can use enrichment, so we can go and pick explicit programs or lessons built for enrichment for grade level students, and as well as for our struggling students, where they would be able to have reteach moments built into small group instruction for them. We also wanted to make sure that the digital platform was easy for staff to navigate. That is a major component that we have found in the past, that if staff is not able to navigate their online components, then we are paying for resources that no one is utilizing. And online supports also cuts down on the amount of paper we use in the long run, excess printing, as well as if all the materials, like Ms. Mount says, if it's all available for us, that's less teacher time spent hunting for things that meet our needs and more time spent on looking at the materials we have and making sure we have a strong understanding of how to present to our students. So in the end, our committee, all members scored our rubrics. We met and discussed. We invited all the staff in the building to come take a look at the program, and as well as had follow-up question-related meetings with Wonders and HMH as well. And overwhelmingly, the vote landed on Wonders. So the end all here, using the criteria, we like to recommend Wonders as our ELA adoption. We find that it best aligns to the rubric priorities. It has a strong foundation in the science of reading, which is critical for early learners in literacy, and it supports consistent and high-quality instruction. At this point in time here, I'm going to turn it back over to Ms. Latona, and she's going to go over briefly why Wonders is the best choice.
Okay, so Talia explained the rubric a little bit and the categories that we looked at for each program. So Wonders had a lot of strengths, and specifically in category 1 and 2 for the phonics and the science of reading, that's where we really found that Wonders was really strong. The other category was the systematic instructional routines, making it easy for teachers. It had a lot of decodables. Phonics was in a good progression order. It had good modeling, guided practice, and like Paige said and Ms. Halseel said, it had really high quality texts that were scaffolded. It had balanced reading and writing instruction, teacher-friendly materials, just like Mrs. Smout said, and the part that we like also was the differentiation and the small group support, because that does take a lot of time for teachers to plan, so having it right there is really important for them. So Wonders did really well on the rubric once we scored them. Now I'd like to turn it over to Ms. Reichler, who's going to talk about proposed cost for the program.
This is always the fun part. All this and everything else. So what we did is I received a quote on the materials, and what we did was look at our enrollment, and we had to take some things out because enrollment is shrinking. We're hoping it's growing, but we went on right now the bare minimum, and meaning that as we've discussed here many of nights, we're looking at 1 kindergarten, 2 first grades, 2 second grades, 2/3, 1, I know, 2 fourth grade classes, but I have 1 teacher teaching language arts, and I will have 1 fifth grade teacher teaching language arts. So that's how we chose our sets. Now, so we also took into consideration, we have students coming and going, and with our revolving door that we have, and so we bulked up a little bit on the consumables that we'll be using. So instead of getting what we think we're going to have, we've padded it by 7 to 10 extra books for kids. Okay, so after we put all that together, the total cost of the sets for all classes would be $99,433. So we were able to knock some of that price down a little bit. The one thing that I'd like to make sure that we know is that if we go on the bare minimum, there's possibilities. If we ever have to open up another classroom, we will need extra materials for the students. So I can always go back if you'd like me to get re-quotes. I have no problem doing that. We can get that done pretty easily. But right now I'm presenting the lowest amount that I can imagine we need. So it's a good guess. So I just want to cover myself with that, with the capital costs that we may incur. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Okay,
And, go ahead.
I have several questions.
Sure.
So this is a license fee for 1 year? Or I mean, it says 5 year in
No, this
parentheses
is for
there.
5 years, sorry.
5
This is
years.
for 5 years.
Okay, with potentially, if the enrollment goes up, we'll need more. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so the ELA standards, are they still the ones from 2015, or have they been updated since then, do you know?
No, they've been updated.
They've been updated since that? So that,
This is a 23 copy.
okay,
right?
which is why we can't use the old curriculum,
Yes.
right, okay.
And it's not approved by Move On When Reading anymore, so we would not be funded.
And the options that you looked at were the State Board of Education gives you options? Of
Yes,
these programs
right.
are acceptable, okay. And then is there an opportunity for us to look through, the board members to look at the materials? before-
100%. So we
Okay.
have them on deck to be shipped over here tomorrow morning, so that it'll be on display for the 60 days.
Okay. All right. That's all the questions I have.
I have a question. The consumables, is there a charge? I assume that the consumables get used, and then the next year you need more.
No, this is it for 5 years.
Okay.
Unless we have enrollment.
Enrollment
Yeah,
changes,
this is
right?
similar to the price that we paid for math as well, and it's the same company that Reveal.
True, yeah.
And my question was, there were classroom sets, correct?
Yes, correct,
Okay.
absolutely.
And I noticed that they did give a lot of extra things that they're not charging for.
They did throw in some goodies for us that they are not, I mean, we can go line item by line item, but I would imagine that you guys would go down and look at each one to make sure that.
And I know I sat in on one of the last times and there was a representative there.
Who's there now?
Who's there.
Yeah.
And it was just, what I like is the support that they'll give us.
They were wonderful. They were patient with us as we asked our questions. They answered our questions. They emailed me back at 10 o'clock at night when I emailed them, so they've been very supportive.
Also, that price includes professional development
Yes.
for the teachers, so
Yeah.
that's going to be really helpful in the beginning of the year,
So-
that they get the training they need to roll out this program.
Our hope was and I don't know if we're going to be able to do this, but our hope was at the end of the year, and I mentioned this once in a board meeting, is that since we have 3 half days at the end of the year, is that we can take an hour of time for K through 2, and they can hear an overview, and then 3 through 5, or however it's easiest to be broken up, just so they can get their feet wet. We can also send out a demo that the teachers can use to play with over the summer.
I liked all the support that it had, and I was a big proponent of making sure that you brought it in early enough so we could get to 60 days and something could be done at the end of the year. We'll still have to do something at the beginning of the year.
Oh,
For new
100%.
teachers and for refresher and everything else, but if people start seeing it before they leave and not panic that they're coming into all this new stuff,
Yeah.
it'd be really good.
The Zoom links, I think, for the training.
Yes, so they do have links
Yeah, to
that
watch the Zoom presentation.
I put into the board packet. When you see it online, you can click on there, you can watch that for
Yeah.
sure. And Sam was going to show you a
Yeah,
little bit
let's
about
do that.
what it looks like inside.
I am tech proficient, but not Mac proficient, so if you want to take me a second.
Where do I go?
Look
See?
at you.
I've been playing too.
So our programs will launch through Clever. That's our login platform. So students have a forward-facing platform through Clever, and teachers will also log in through there. Just like Reveal, it's the same app, and then once they click on it, they'll have Reveal and Wonders access. I'm going to show you the 4th grade Teachers Wonders because that's the one I played in the most, but they all are the same. They look all the same, they just, obviously the content is different. So, in here, I'm going to go to Unit 2 for fun. So my favorite part, and I'll start with this one, is under the plan section, when we click on the calendar, we can have it loaded or we can load days in ourselves that we are not teaching. So the first day of school, when the Halloween party is, because that's a half day, we probably won't be teaching reading on the half day. It's Halloween and they are hyped. If we are going on a field trip, we can add these non-teaching days in. So if I say field trip, I'm going to see if it lets me do it, and hopefully it does. This is in 2022. Maybe I picked the right date. If I go to add this, I have to add the other side. It will block out that day, and it will shift all of my teaching. It just did it. It says field trip. It will shift it all for me. So now all of my plans that are on the platform are automatically shifted. So when I log in, it automatically opens the actual day that it is, the calendar day. And I can also, on the weekly planner, if I know that On day 2, that is an insane amount of things to do based on how much time I have. If I just shift it over, I can move it to where I need to, and my daily slideshow, which I'll show you, will also change and mirror that. So I don't need to skip slides or open different slideshows. By moving this, it automatically saves it for me. The best part is if I just hit Wonders, I go back to the same screen without being logged out. So on here we have the weekly lessons, so days 1 through 5, and obviously if I click today, it will go back to the correct day. It reloaded me. It thinks that I'm in Unit 6. I am not. I'm going to pretend to be in Unit 1 or Unit 2. So under here it has all of the reading lessons for today. If I wanted to look at them at home, it has my differentiated instruction, which is the small groups we were talking about. So for my approaching levels, if I click on these, it will open some lessons that I can review and then print out if I see that's something that my students will need. The daily slides are my favorite part. When we looked at HMH, the other program, it was the most confusing platform I have ever used, and I am very techie. So that is a lot to say because there's a lot of teachers who might not be as technology happy, and it was very confusing for me. So this one was very easy. So this is my slideshow for the day. So I'll have my teacher's manual open, but these are all of the components that go with the lesson for the day. And then it'll open me to, there's some games that we can play on our smart boards. So that would be this one. And it will also open the online book when I get to that. Here's another game I can play with my kids. This is a lot of games. Hopefully I picked one that has a, I don't know if I did. It does bounce out back and forth, as you can see. But I can present the shared reading book on here, if I can find it. I think I picked the one presentation that doesn't have one, but, you know, it's okay. Make it work. Let's pick stay. I know, it's like very buried, though, and I keep clicking it. It doesn't like me. Let's see. Yeah, I did say I was not math proficient. It's okay. I'll get there. Let me see. I think, oh, found it. Okay, so this is one of the books. So I could project this on my smart board, and it will read to them. I can annotate, so if we wanted to talk about something, I can, which I can't do with a Mac, but somehow you can highlight things. There you go. You can highlight certain things that are important, and it will save those highlighting for you, so when you bring up the book again, it will still be there. Sometimes they tune out your voice as a teacher, so it's nice to have someone else read it to them, because if they're not over listening to you, it helps to have someone else. And then all of these games at the bottom are automatically assigned to students based on the calendar. So as long as your calendar is up to date, these games will be available when they log in for them. And then these are a bunch of additional printables that you can use as you see fit. So like Mrs. Smout said, it's very nice that everything is in one place. It's very easy to use as well. There is a lot of data that is great in here also. There's not any data loaded in the platform, so it won't pull up anything. It might, but it hasn't in the past. But when your students are in here, you can pull up one standard, and it will show you all of the games they've played, any of the work they've done online, the tests they've done, and it will show you their proficiency for that standard. And then it will group them based on how they score so that you can pull a small group based off of just one standard. So it does all of that for you as long as you use the assessment platform online, which we're going to highly encourage because the assessments look just like the state test. So the more practice that they have with the platform that looks like the state test, especially in younger grades when they've never taken one, the better that they will do there. I can show, does anyone have any questions about the teacher one? You'll also have the demo so you can play around in it. And one of the Zooms that we did that Val linked, it has just like a full online demo. That was one of our questions for them.
So the books that they actually read are primarily online or on their tablets?
They're all paper, but I could project it while the kids are looking at it in their workbook. Yeah, okay. So they're in their workbook or in their Basil reader, like the hardbound book, but I could project them. That's why we went with this one, because HMH was very online necessary. They pretty much had to be on a computer while you were teaching to use it correctly.
You may have seen there's a recent study showing that kids who learn online are not as proficient at reading as kids who read on the old-fashioned way.
So that's why we liked this one, because it has both Yes, it has both
Good.
options.
Good.
I can show you the student-facing side so you can just see what it looks like. So the kids will also log in through Clever for that.
It also gives us options, you know, if they need to complete something at home or some, you know, they have all the materials that we need.
So this is what the student side, facing side looks like. So it's very easy for them to look at. There's things, so if I assign something for them, it will be just right here in this to-do section. And then their tests would populate here as well. There's no vocabulary words to know currently because there's nothing in there. But they could click on that. The games will be automatically assigned based on your week. So there's all these games that the kids could log in to play, and it does save the data, and then that can be used in their like assessment card. They have access to the books for that week. So if they wanted at home or at some other time to read one of the books that we've read and they don't have their things with them, they can go in and read the book on the computer. And then the adaptive learning platform is extra, I think. Maybe? No, it's not? Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm looking to see. So they have, yes, the adaptive learning also, which I did not end up looking at. So I don't know if either Larissa or Heather wants to just say something about the adaptive platform, because I did not know it was coming with it.
Yeah, thanks. You're amazing.
Thank you.
How agile you are in there, and you just know all the things. So thanks for doing that. Yeah, adaptive learning just comes with it. It's in every student platform automatically, and it's simply to fill gaps for foundational skills. So you're still teaching foundational skills. It's an independent adaptive pathway for students. There's no designated amount of time that they need to spend in there. And, you know, it's not for all the students if they're, you know, doing fine and they don't need to do that, but they have access. It's gamified adaptive pathway where it fills the gaps that they need in their foundational skills.
Does anyone have any other questions about the online?
Now, one of my favorite things when I was there was that the calendar, that you're able to move things to make sure you're still going to teach them. You didn't forget a week later going, oh no, I didn't cover that. Right. So this, you're able to move it along and be able to keep doing the sequence like you're supposed to.
So as far as the digital side of things, you mentioned about record keeping and keeping track of what the students do. Where is all that information stored?
I believe it's stored on our McGraw-Hill account.
Okay, so it's not local. It's stored in the cloud, or it's stored somewhere else where?
Is the data stored in the cloud? You would hopefully.
And
The assessment
it's in
data.
a teacher login specific account. It's in the teacher or administrative account, depending on which rights are given to administrators.
Yeah, but it's not stored locally. We don't have anything, we don't have any equipment to store it locally.
Right. That's where I was going. And then the other part of it is there any relationship, since you're talking about calendars and everything, between what Synergy is going to be doing and what you're doing with all the curriculum software?
I know Synergy will link with Clever, and that's how the kids log in, because currently PowerSchool syncs with Clever, and that's how we log in. I don't think this automatically syncs with Synergy.
Are you doing assessments in the program?
We're doing the assessments in the McGraw-Hill program.
Okay, so that is something we can ask. I can say that they are very good at connecting and writing little programs that talk to each other. And they talked about that in our presentation with Synergy a lot, especially with like PBI's rewards and some of the things we do. So we can ask that question and get you an answer. And it's a great question.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Other questions?
I have a couple more questions. Can we get access to the rubric that
Yep, absolutely.
a board approved at some point?
This board did not, and it was also off of ADE's.
Yeah. So I'd love to be able to have access and review that.
Sure, absolutely.
And then I just want to thank you guys because it sounds like you guys put a ton of work in this and you've done a very thorough review. So I really do appreciate that. I do have one other question, and and of course, some of you might guess what that's going to be. We all know that almost all of the curriculum out there now has SEL components in it, which is no fault of our own, right? It's been forced upon us by textbooks companies such as McGraw-Hill. So I did do a little research, and Wonders is one of them that has SEL components to it. Now, the good thing is I did discover that there was at least one other district in another state that kind of fought against that, and I believe that Wonders, you can either as teachers or as a district, we can select out of the SEL component. And so I'm just wondering if that is still true. The article I read on that was from a few years ago. So wondering if that is true.
So what you would do is just, it's in the teacher's edition, and there are things that teachers would just not do. Like in the calendar and the planner, they could hide those things and they would not teach that. So it's not so integrated into the everyday teaching that it's not something that they could avoid or leave out in any way.
Which we did with Reveal.
Right.
Also, we don't teach Unit 1 of Reveal. That was a board requirement for it to be approved. And
that's the
Unit
reason
1
they
has
ask if
that.
we had access to it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the reason why I asked, because the article I read said that it could be a district decision, which means to me that we could choose to approve the curriculum with that turned off. It sounds like that we can't do that, that it would be in the teachers would have access to it if we approved it as is.
Yes, and I don't think we turned it off for Reveal.
No,
either.
I don't
We
think
just have
it was
the-
turned off for
right,
Reveal.
Exactly, we just
But
have-
for Wonders.
It was just verbal agreement type thing.
Right,
Yeah.
which we did stick to, yeah.
Yeah, so for Wonders, the article that I read indicated that it could be done by teachers or district, and that's why I asked the question. If it's district, that sounds to me like we could purchase it with it turned off.
So maybe we can verify if that's available or
There's
not.
no way to turn it off as a district. It's just a small piece in the K-1 where they just don't do that at the beginning of the unit.
Okay.
A lot of teachers, it's not a problem to not do that piece at the beginning of the unit for K-1.
Okay.
And it's not in the student materials, right?
It's not in the student materials?
Just teacher.
Just teacher.
No, it's
Okay.
teacher delivered, yes.
Okay.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
And I can pull it up here so you
we
can
could
see.
where it is. Do you know where it is? So we can pull it.
Yeah, it's just basically in
Oh, right here, I see it.
kindergarten or
We have
first grade
feelings.
is the beginning of the unit. If you're in any unit 1,
Yeah.
beginning, week 1, there's some
So-
unit information that kind of overviews the next weeks of instruction.
Right.
And there's really just a little video there, and they just don't show it.
So to turn it off, you can for the presentation, because it's on this one. It's right here at the bottom. It says
Yeah.
social emotional learning, we have feelings. In the weekly planner, you just hit the settings button, and then you can move to holding bin, and then it won't pop up on the presentation. So, and we, like I said, we did approve, or Reveal was board approved, we just skipped Unit 1, because in Reveal, Unit 1 is the unit that had the SEL component.
Thank you.
And so that would just be turning off 6 unit.
Buttons.
It's only the beginning of the unit, so not a big.
Let's look there. Yep, worth the wait.
And once you print it off from year to year, you're doing it, but you only have to do it that one time.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you. All right, well, thank you, ladies, for being here. We appreciate you.
We appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks for having us.
It will go on display, doesn't mean it's approved, but it'll
Right.
go on display for 60 days starting tomorrow.
Right.
Okay.
And then after that, we.
Come back to you for an action
Okay.
item.
Okay. All right, site council minutes, starting on page 36 and going through page 58. Any questions, comments about that? If not, then next up is current enrollment on page 59 and 60. So a little bit lower than that, but not a big difference. And as many people are moving in as moving out, it looks like,
Yeah.
contrary to general thoughts. Okay, on to public comments. Do we have any? We do. All right, call to the public. This is the time for public to comment. Time limits may be allocated on public comment. We allow 3 minutes. At the discretion of the board president for the board to officially complete its business. The board reserves the right to prohibit any comments made in a discourteous or threatening manner. Complaints about specific individuals, either students or personnel, are discouraged. Personnel issues should be directed to the appropriate staff member or administrator per district policy. Members of the board may not discuss items that are not specifically identified on the agenda. Therefore, pursuant to ARS 38-43101H, action taken as a result of public comment will be limited to directing staff to study the matter, responding to any criticism, or scheduling the matter for further consideration and decision at a later date. Okay, Kim, 3 minutes.
Thank you, Kim Bartman. Have a graduate of Fountain Hills High, class of 24. Woohoo! And first off, I just want to say it was, Mrs. Househill, Ms. Latona, Mrs. Reichler, Sam. Sam was a student teacher for Mrs. Cooper when my kid was in 2nd grade, and I was the class mom. And and Luke Salzman, who's taken my daughter on lots of trips. And this is just such a rich district, seeing all of these people that are from Fountain Hills that really care about this community. And Dr. Kane Jagodinsky, thank you for all you've done for this district. You are a shining star, and I'm grateful that you're going to stay in Fountain Hills and help with the dark sky. That's really awesome, and that you're going to still support this community and this district. And Val Reichler, I have a kid the same age as her. I've known her since, our kids were in kindergarten. So thank you for all you've done, and I look forward to helping. And I would like to help with the high school, the graduation ceremony, if you have a volunteer role for me.
We do.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Kim. On to action items, starting with the personnel action report on page 61. Any questions or comments about that? If not, would someone like to make a motion to approve?
I did have a comment about that.
Okay, go ahead.
I was curious as to why the effective dates were different for some people that have the same position. Sort of similar position.
Okay.
I understand the para.
61.
Page 61.
I understand the para because that's a para. But then the art teacher is different than like the 5th grade and the resource teacher.
Yeah, so one of them resigned effective immediately.
Okay.
Okay. And let's see.
The other ones range from 5/22 to 5/29, so it's a matter of a week.
527.
Yeah, so the elementary art, that effective date is incorrect. So it's that, so good catch there. We'll have to fix that.
Okay.
The rest would be based on if they gave us a time, like when they're going to, or when their contract ends, based on like teacher or administration, so, yeah.
Yeah,
But
that
that one
answered that
is,
question right
that
there.
one is incorrect.
Okay, thank you.
I move we approve the personnel action report.
Do I have a second?
No, we need to move that it's approved with that correction.
Yes.
Yes.
I
Okay.
move we approve it with the correction of the date.
Okay, and a second?
I second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that is approved. Next to the payroll vouchers, starting on page 62 and going through page 66. I'll move that we approve the payroll vouchers. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, those are approved. Next is the accounts payable vouchers, starting on page 67. And I think I had questions, but I think I answered all. Oh, I did have one. On voucher 2632, the SHI International Corporation, the Adobe Creative Cloud licenses, do we know if that's 1 year or multiple years or not?
I believe those are 1 year, and it's a very limited number of people that have that. So it's almost, being as small as we are, if someone requests it, we're able to get them editing. So like Krista has editing on PDF. I don't use that a lot, so it wouldn't be something that maybe I have, but others in the district have. So we have a certain amount of licenses available.
Okay.
So it's not universal to everybody.
All right. And then the other one, I think I have the answer to it on voucher 2633. There's a limit, amount for School Pride Limited, which is the track and field record board, but I think Mr. Hartman acknowledged that that's totally covered by donations.
Yes.
So we're just taking the donations and spending it. That's all the questions I had. Anyone else with questions on accounts payable?
No.
No? Okay, then I will move that we approve the accounts payable vouchers. Is there a second?
A second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Next is donations, for which we are always very grateful for donations from our generous community. There was a question on that. There was one that appeared to be a duplicate.
I think it got changed in the
I thought I fixed it.
Oh, is it fixed? So the Kiwanis one?
Yes.
Oh, Elks Club. Elks Club has 2,500 twice, though.
But that is correct.
That is correct. Wow.
That's for 2 different field trips.
Right,
Yeah.
for fourth
Beautiful.
grade and fifth grade.
Thank you to the Elks Club and everyone else who is very generous. Much appreciated. Okay, would someone like to make a motion to approve donations?
I'll move to approve the donations.
And how about a second?
I'll second.
Bernie? Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that passes as well. And then the next item is on page 96, the general leave payout for Evelyn Wynn. I will move that we approve the general leave payout for Evelyn Wynn at the daily subrate. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That is approved. Next is professional meet and confer, starting on page 97. I think we heard about this last, at our last meeting.
Dr. Kowski, members of the board and guests, we added, we updated one of the red line areas with the one-time bonuses. I believe it was on the first draft that we got from the meet and confer group, because they're the ones who do their red lines and present it. When I went back and reviewed it again, it wasn't specific that it's a one-time. It was written a little bit more as beginning with this year, and I clarified with them that it is a one-time. Next year at this time, our hope is that we can do something permanent, but time will tell. But I just want to be clear on that all the compensation changes are one-times.
Yeah, that's page 103, I think, is one of them there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? Okay, I'll move that we approve the professional meet and confer as shown in our packet. Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that carries unanimously. Next up is the supplemental reading materials for the middle school and the high school, starting and finishing on page 120. And this, again, no one stopped by to look at the books. We need to give a prize or something. Or something, I don't know. Any comments or questions about that? If not, I will move that we approve the supplemental reading material for the middle school and the high school.
I second.
Or the elementary school and the middle school, excuse me. Okay.
I second.
Second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Okay. Next is the medical benefit plan, page 121 and 122.
excellent job once again. It really is incredible that we can do this.
We are trying to maintain it each year, so we're very happy we can move forward with that. And we've still had no questions or concerns from staff. They've been very appreciative of it.
Okay. Who would like to make that motion?
I still move.
And a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That is approved. Next is the issuance of the 2026-2027 administrative contracts, starting on page 123. Any questions about that one? Okay, I'll move that we approve the issuance of 2026-2027 administrative contracts. Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That is approved. Moving on to the issuance of 2026-27 support staff work agreements, starting on page 131. Any questions or comments about that one? If not, who would like to make the motion?
I move we approve the issuance of the 26-27 support staff work agreements.
And a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that carries. Next is I'll move that we designate Ms. Reichler and Dr. J as our representatives for settlement discussions in an Apache Junction et al. Versus East Valley Institute of Technology. Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the next is to confirm the direction provided in executive session. I'll move that we confirm the direction provided in executive session to our designated representatives for the purposes of negotiations, settlement discussions, contract discussions in Apache Junction et al. Versus East Valley Institute of Technology. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That carries. Okay, on to information and discussion items, starting with the elementary school specials class, Art to STEAM.
Dr. Rakowski, members of the board and guests, Principal Reichler and I will both discuss this a little bit. As part of our budget reductions and overall review of programming, one of the things we discussed is to utilize a little bit more library time. We have the beautiful library there, and fifth grade will be utilizing, as they are the largest class in the school, they will be having one of their specials be library experiences where it's reading, planetarium, all the different opportunities we have there. We wanted to, as part of being able to hold on to kind of what we've done with project-based learning, because in the first year we've had it, there have been some very positive parts of that. The kids, doing projects, collaborating, really focusing on the portrait of a graduate. And as we know, that culminates with the internship their senior year. We wanted to hold on to that, but at the same time, with a shift in art, we felt that we could combine the two and have a STEAM program. So where we're still focusing on STEM education, which we have had a long history of with Ms. Cooper in town, who retired a couple years ago, but focus on the project-based learning component of the PBL class, but combine it with art where there's an art focus. So we would still make sure that art is a priority, but doing it in that STEM environment where we can continue to offer the opportunities for kids, but do it in a way that's a little bit more affordable for us as a district. So I don't know if you want to share anything else at the podium or not, but
For example, this year when we had our PBL class, we saw a lot of creativity. And the kids were enjoying their time building things as art. So they were building robots and dioramas, and so they were hitting on the science aspect and then measuring to make sure, so they're incorporating math. So they were starting to incorporate all these things, and they were drawing. So they had different mediums that they can use, which was fantastic because it hit different learners. So they all weren't making, I don't know, sorry to use this one, first one to my head, is a night sky. They had the creativity to either draw it or build it or something to that effect. So that's where this will differ a little bit in that art. Once again, bringing in some science into it as well because she's teaching lessons. Ms. Erin Hernandez took over PBL this year, and the one thing she did is what I've been trying to do is to get that cooking room working and up and running, and she did. So she talked about, she joined forces with Mrs. Sweet, our PE teacher. They talked about nutrition and movement and things like that, and they talked about safe handling in the kitchen. And they ended up making little English muffin pizzas, and we sent home all the, permission slips and things like that. She and the volunteers were the only ones near the oven, but they got to do different things that haven't been in the school in a while. So they're bringing back things that I really enjoyed seeing. It was a lot of fun.
We really wanted that kitchen up. And I've been wanting it up and running for a while.
She did it.
And to see it and visit the classroom and see it happening was awesome. It's another part of that school that no other really elementary school has, with a full culinary lab, being that it was a former middle school. The other thing we got to consider is as we continue to shrink a little, we're down to two sections in every grade level. So having 3 specials is not going to work in time because one of those teachers will not be utilized. And so, yes, there's ways to, and I've done this with the high school, be creative in scheduling, but at the same time, we feel that, having the project-based learning and art kind of merging, and we've seen it this year, kind of where we got the idea for doing this, is the great job the teacher has done. But we'll still have PE, obviously, and our goal is to still have music at some point there, Mr. Homley. We just cannot find anybody to do it. And so we continue to put that out there. And I know that we would be willing to make room in our budget or even, do what it takes to bring music in at the elementary level, and we will continue to look for that. But moving to, 2 sections in every grade level for 27, 28, which is what's going to most likely happen, and you may have 2 grade levels at 1. So as we continue to see where our community's growth goes and whether families move in or not, I do believe it's the right move to right size what we're doing at the elementary school, but still provide a really, really awesome experience for those specials classes. And I think for parents, yes, the traditional of having art, music, and PE and STEM, those are great things. What we're trying to do is incorporate what we can into what we have available. We did a concert this year for music with Miss Mao, and it was packed, and we can continue to do those types of things through the grade level and get that music in. But we're a unique, smaller district, and we really have pushed hard on the Portrait of a Graduate. And I hope that continues to stay in the future, because the end result is those 6 skills our graduates walk out of here with are going to allow them to be adaptable in whatever is available for them in the future for the economy and the positions that they're going to take. Being able to communicate, problem solve, make goals, all that we have financial literacy embedded in there. So all the things in the Portrait Graduate I think are very important to our direction as a district, and then again culminating with all the things our seniors do. And you've got to see a lot of that with the internship presentations and seeing them in our community. So that is the ask. We want to hear your feedback, and then with that, if there's momentum to do so, then Miss Reichler will put together a course approval like we do for the high school. It'll take 2 reads, and we will make STEAM a official course of the elementary school.
Dr. J, the kids all still have PE though, correct?
They all have PE.
Okay.
Yeah, we love PE in this district. We got a lot of PE options. It only gets more options as you get older.
To move.
And I saw firsthand the music that came out, the two things that were done, and it's obvious it was really good. And I think this is fantastic because you do try to put everything together and doing our projects to show what you learn. Why not?
And there's other opportunities I want to point out. So earlier this year, we started a mentorship program within the school where we have students who are mentoring other students and working in classrooms from McDowell Mountain who are opting out of an elective to be a Falcon leader on the campus. And then we have officially started our teacher academy. So as you approved earlier this year, after going through all the process of that, we only had 2 that went through the whole process, and they are loving it. And I can tell you the joy of one of them every day who comes home, and I think he's going to end up being a teacher as a result of this. So it is really cool that we can embed other elective opportunities without having a whole class of them. And we've piloted that twice now, and we can continue to do that.
I get things every day. Thank you for having us, because they enjoy the kids. I'm telling you, we got to read this book that we remembered reading in first grade. And they're learning new things too, so it's pretty amazing.
Other questions?
No, if you say you have mentors within the school, I remember when my kids went to school, the 5th graders were mentors to the kindergartners and 1st graders. It was called the Big Buddy.
Yeah.
And my kids still remember who their Big Buddy was.
And we'd like to pair up with our preschoolers coming over next year, some of the older elementary students. And so we got a lot of ideas of how we can build, that unity, and even, little things like, Dr. Nguyen is continuously brought our high school kids over to play with the kids before football games, to read to them during the year. And so that continuity is very big. But back to the STEAM aspect, I believe that this program will allow us to kind of get the best of both worlds, but also in a way that's affordable to the district in the size of the school that we have to offer.
I'll just say that I'm supportive of the STEAM idea, and I think it's a very creative idea of incorporating, science and art together. So I'm all for it. Learning more. Yeah.
We will bring forward a course proposal to you at the next meeting.
Okay.
I think we're going to have to push it on because I just have to work with the teacher.
And I need it tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll get that to you soon.
Tomorrow. All right, next item is the 2026-27 work calendars. Is anyone, we just looking at it, or?
Dr. Kuski, members of the board and guests, we have Krista Andre here, who's an expert on these work calendars, and she's here to answer any questions you have.
So they're all perfect, right?
Really not. Actually, I don't do the work calendars. Alicia does the work calendars. I do the school calendars, but they are 100% based on the school calendars.
Okay.
So there's no variation from them.
Good. Questions, comments?
No.
No?
Good.
All right, next item is the supplemental reading materials for the elementary school, which are listed on page 143. Yes, 143. The first 2 have been around forever, right?
Yeah.
Not for the others, yeah, but, okay. Questions, comments of that? No? And then the last is administrative meet and confer, page 144 and following.
So Dr. Kuski, members of the board and guests, you will see some red lines, some changes, one strikeout. But one of the things that, as I've gone through meet and confer now with all 3 employee groups, is, and we have one more coming to you with classified, which we should have, hopefully next meeting or the following one after that. But what we're seeing is a trend in all employee groups that they understand that the one-time money for next year is something that they've supported, and they feel, excited that they're getting something in a time period where budgets are tight, uncertainty of obviously an override next year. And all the employee groups, including the administration one, have all landed so far on the same idea of a small return to work bonus and then a December payout as well. And all of them have elected for that same $800 number in the December 15th payout. And so everyone in the district in December, based on the contracts and going through our attorneys, make sure it's all written correctly, everyone with the exception of the superintendent would get that payout in December 15th. And I've had no concerns or questions about that from any of the employee groups. And I've also shared with them that part of their compensation package, for almost everyone, and if not, it's very close, it is a cost of living adjustment. It hits that number for most employees, and some exceeds it based on their experience and years in the district. But part of that compensation package is also the wonderful benefit package that we brought forward that you just approved, where if we didn't do that, all the increase they would get in pay would just go back to paying their health benefits. So being one of the few districts that has such amazing health benefits, we are committed to keeping that. And Val and I are speaking over the next few months of strategies to ensure that we can keep that for years moving forward as she takes over. So in total compensation for everybody, we feel that this is a really good package in a year of uncertainty.
And the one thing that the admin group brought up and shared with the professional group was that for the December bonus, that it will only be for people who were contracted this year. So anybody coming on new next year will not receive it. Because it's supposed to act like a raise for us, right? Mm-hmm. So people that are new to the district shouldn't receive that benefit. Right. The professional staff also agreed. Mm-hmm. We're working with the classified staff right now, so.
Yeah.
Good.
Makes sense.
Questions? Okay, good. So future action, it says none. That doesn't mean that we're not going to do anything going forward, but it just, the routine stuff will be coming.
And I just want to share, we have not forgot test data and all that, but we're going to have some fresh data coming soon.
Yeah, that's what we kind of,
We would do it all for you when it comes in.
Once we get the fresh.
I had a couple comments. We also have to put the approval of political action.
It is on.
Depends on the next one.
Yeah, it's on next week as.
Right, because it has to be done.
May 6th as.
Right.
Action.
And I would like to have a presentation from the last trip that people went on,
Sure, we can set that up.
like we've had before,
Yeah,
so
yep.
that'd be good.
Okay. All right, dates of Bernie, sorry.
Yeah, I think it would be good as we're getting towards the end of the school year to go ahead and do a level set on the current budget expenses and then how we're set up for next year. I know we've talked about it in facility meetings a couple of times, and the difference between, again, identifying the difference between capital and M&O, just so we can have a clear understanding of that as we make other decisions regarding financials.
Yeah, and I'll just share, you have a budget, one last budget for this year you have to approve, and then you'll have a proposed and adopted budget in May and June coming up very shortly. And I will be contracting with Dr. Allen to assist with the budget for next year to ensure with the counties, some of the changes there, to just ensure that everything is done correctly. So we will bring something to you on that down the road, contracted agreement. But if there's something more than that, if you could email me what you specifically would like us to review, I will take care of that for you. Okay?
Okay, you good? All right, dates of upcoming meetings, April 15th, Tax Day, and May 6th, 2026, with business meetings at 6 PM unless we decide we want to come here earlier. And unless there's anything else, who would like to make a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
And how about a second? Yeah, second, okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned.
And we did it. Look at that.
Not bad.
Not bad with
Lot
all
of
the
stuff
things
on
we
the
had.
agenda.
Wow. Yeah, there was a lot today. We haven't had that much in a while. I know. Oh, she needs to sign.
Yeah. So pretty much every meeting, we have to sign